Immigration has been a hot topic again, and we had an undocumented worker walking on Main Street right in front of our church this summer, and he has been a part of our church since then. He speaks no English, and that's sort of how we've personally dealt with this issue. And man, just this last couple of weeks, there's been 500 undocumented who've been brought up from Texas, and they're just housing these folks in warehouses down in Denver. And what's the church's response to this kind of an issue?
Well, there's so many places that are very clear about the immigrant and the alien and the poor and the widows and the orphans, to open the doors and to invite them in, and to people get overwhelmed with the enormity of the situation, but I think God is just asking us to take care of the ones that are right before us, the ones that are the young person that walk through our doors. What are you going to do for them? How And what I love about that is I have seen my husband, Alex, come home and get a call and rush out with a coat for this person and just different things. There are just the little things that we can do. There's been a woman in my life recently that's older. She's experiencing different things in life, and she is physically disabled. It has brought my mind opened my eyes up to this whole community of our elderly, and how we have also kind of relegated them to the side, just like the immigrants. We relegated them to the side and tell them that they're not people of honor, or people that
not worth our time or our energy.
Right.
Same with adults with disabilities.
Yes. And the Lord just asks us to do the one that is right in front of you. And so I just challenge you today. He's just asking you, how are you being kind to your family? How are you being kind to your neighbor? How are you being kind to the person on the street? How are you being kind to the person the person at work? You never know. With the heart of Christ, with the eyes of Christ, it says, in the New Testament, that the Lord would look at the crowds and he would be filled with compassion. If we're not filled with compassion, then stop for a moment and ask him to fill, because he's the Lord of the harvest, and he wants us to treat other human beings with the love of Christ and be his hands and feet, and to lift them up. And it's not easy, but he wants us to do it anyway.
Yeah, I think we get overwhelmed at the enormity of it, or our own lack of resources. And I like what you're saying, that just be generous with the one in front of you. And can you talk a little bit about the Vineyard Longmont and immigrants, either documented or undocumented, and your role with the Hispanic Association, and what you think we're going to see in the next year or two as far as church planting?
Well, my hope is, actually, there's a dream from the Lord that in the next few years we will plant a bilingual or a Hispanic church in our area in Boulder County, or close by, or a service within. I think it's 25% Hispanics here in Longmont. And so we have just leaned into that. We've prayed into it. We asked the Lord of the harvest, will you help us with that? And as a result of it, because I think I was the only Hispanic at the time in our church, and I am really second generation. So we were praying for not just second generation Hispanics, but first generation Hispanics as well. And all of a sudden, this door just flings wide open.
You were asked to be a part of the lead team for the Vineyard Associate
the
Hispanic
national team. Yeah.
Yeah, the national lead team. So now you're a part of a prominent move within the Vineyard Church throughout the whole nation for Spanish speakers.
Well, and we just celebrate. And so there are associations through the Vineyard. There's 4 of them. And it was the associations were formed with it in mind that there are people in our midst that were didn't really have a voice in the leadership, and they didn't have a voice in our churches. And so Vineyard USA formed 4 associations. One is women. The next one is Hispanics. The other one is Black leaders and pastors. And the other one is Asian Pacific Islander association too. And so when I found out there was a Hispanic association, I said, Vineyard Longmont needs to be part of that. So we were able to, we leaned into it. We were able to help. Me in particular, I was able to help with the event of a conference. The first conference that we had for our association was in August in New Jersey. And
Hackensack.
Huh?
Hackensack.
Yeah, it was so exciting to be there.
Who needs a house out in Hackensack? That's a Billy Joel quote, by the way.
Oh, okay. So we had about 180 people gather, and it's the first time a lot of the pastors there said that it's the first time that they heard Spanish on a regional, national level. So it was definitely bilingual. There was Spanish and English, and translation for both. And so we gathered our pastors and leaders across the nation, invited them to come, and they came.
Lying face down in life's drain, my heart's gonna